They never wanted this recorded. Behind locked doors, past velvet ropes, and guarded gates, a way of life existed that was never meant to survive daylight. Hidden in plain sight, the Vanderbilt fortune burned brighter than anything America had ever seen, and faster than anyone could stop it. This wasn't wealth, it was dominance, and much of it would be illegal today. Behind the name Vanderbilt family did not begin with elegance. It began with aggression. Before chandeliers, before Newport summers, before marble staircases and silk gowns, the Vanderbilt identity was forged in confrontation. This was a family that understood one principle earlier than most Americans ever would. Control the system, and luxury becomes inevitable. Cornelius Vanderbilt didn't seek admiration. He sought leverage. He studied roots, not society pages. He learned where money moved and positioned himself directly in its path. Every dollar that passed through water or rail was an opportunity to tax the nation without ever holding office. The later Vanderbilts inherited more than wealth. They inherited a mindset. Money was not something to display first. It was something to weaponize. By the time the family entered high society, their fortune was already untouchable. Balls and banquets weren't celebrations, they were announcements. Each appearance reminded old European aristocracy and rising American elites alike that this family had rewritten the rules without permission. The Vanderbilt name became a locked door. If you were inside it, the world bent. If you were outside, no amount of talent or ambition could force entry. And once the name carried that weight, it no longer needed to explain itself. The rooms. No one talked about. Walk through a Vanderbilt mansion and you'll notice something strange. Every Vanderbilt mansion was a performance, but performances only work if the machinery stays invisible. Behind the public splendor were rooms never shown on postcards, rooms without ornament, rooms designed for efficiency, silence, and obedience. At estates like the Breakers and Biltmore Estate, architecture itself enforced hierarchy. Walls curved to block sound, hallways bent to prevent accidental eye contact between staff and guests. Staircases were split, one grand and ceremonial, the other narrow and hidden, built for speed. Servants moved through these spaces like shadows. Meals appeared as if summoned. Fires were lit without witnesses. Beds were turned down while owners dined, unaware of how precisely timed their comfort was. Some rooms existed purely to isolate power. Private studies where contracts were signed away from lawyers. Dressing chambers where jewels were counted and recounted. Smoking rooms where deals were whispered, not written. And then there were rooms with no official purpose at all. Small, locked spaces where money was stored temporarily, where sensitive documents rested before being destroyed, where conversations happened that were never meant to survive beyond the night. No laws required records, no cameras watched corridors, no outside authority entered these spaces uninvited. Modern luxury emphasizes openness, glass walls, public tours, transparency. Vanderbilt luxury emphasized separation. The distance between owner and worker wasn't accidental, it was engineered. These houses weren't homes, they were systems, designed to operate smoothly, quietly, and unquestioned. And that design philosophy, more than the gold or marble, is what would never be allowed today. Money without witnesses. The Vanderbilts lived in a time before financial transparency. No disclosures, no income reporting, no ethical oversight. Money passed through trusts designed to confuse, through shell arrangements that didn't yet have names, through personal agreements that never touched paper. A Vanderbilt could fund a railroad, crush a competitor, and host a gala on the same night, without ever explaining where the money came from or where it went. Today, this would trigger investigations. Back then, it was called business. Their lifestyle depended on something modern society no longer allows: unchecked accumulation. The power of access luxury wasn't just about objects, it was about access. The Vanderbilts didn't wait in lines. They didn't apply. They didn't request meetings. Presidents came to them. Railroads shaped entire cities around Vanderbilt interests. Towns rose where tracks were laid. Towns died when routes shifted. Families woke up prosperous or ruined based on decisions made in private dining rooms over brandy and cigars. This wasn't influence, it was gravity. And no law existed to slow it down. Servants, silence, and control. A single Vanderbilt household could employ hundreds: maids, footmen, chefs, valets, governesses, each bound by unspoken rules. You did not repeat what you heard. You did not describe what you saw. You did not question instructions. Many servants lived their entire lives inside Vanderbilt properties, aging quietly behind walls that the public would later photograph as monuments to beauty. There were no labor protections, no limits on hours, no guarantees of safety. Today, entire sections of this lifestyle would violate labor law. Back then, silence was part of the wage. The gilded cage. The Vanderbilt children were raised inside perfection and pressure. Private tutors replaced schools. Carefully selected companions replaced friends. Marriages were negotiated like mergers. Love was optional. Legacy was not. Every child was a living asset, groomed to extend the dynasty or risk being quietly sidelined. Wealth created opportunity, but it also created confinement. The walls were beautiful. The expectations were brutal. Parties that redefined excess. When the Vanderbilts entertained, America watched. But even the headlines didn't capture the scale. Multi-day celebrations with imported flowers replaced daily. Entire orchestras traveled by private rail. Menus were rewritten nightly to avoid repetition. Jewelry worn once was retired forever. These events weren't about enjoyment, they were statements. Each party reminded guests exactly where power lived and where it didn't. In today's world of scrutiny and public accountability, such extravagance would spark outrage, investigations, protests. Back then, it sparked envy. Why it couldn't last. The Vanderbilt lifestyle depended on three things modern society removed: no financial oversight, no labor protections, no cultural resistance to extreme inequality. As laws evolved, cracks appeared, trusts fractured, fortunes splintered, heirs spent faster than systems could replenish. The same excess that built the empire consumed it. Palaces became museums. Private rail cars became relics. Names once feared became historical footnotes, not because the Vanderbilts failed, but because the world changed. The quiet after the fall. What remains today is silence. Tourists walk through marble halls, unaware of the private deals made there. Photographs capture chandeliers, not conversations. Guides speak of architecture, not dominance. But the walls remember, this lifestyle wasn't just extravagant, it was unsustainable. And perhaps that's why it fascinates us still, because it represents a version of America that no longer exists and cannot legally return. So here's the question. If this level of wealth and control were still possible today, who would be brave enough to use it? And who would dare to stop it? If you want more hidden stories of forbidden luxury, vanished dynasties, and the private world's history tried to bury, subscribe now and step back inside the archives they never meant to open.